Good evening, sorors. Welcome to our Town Hall meeting. Please give us 2 minutes to allow everybody to access the meeting, and then we will begin. Again, good evening, sorors. Welcome to our Town Hall meeting. Please allow us a minute to allow all of our sorors to access the meeting, and thank you for joining us this evening. Once again, good evening, sorors who are joining us at this time. We will begin our meeting in 1 minute. Please allow the rest of our sorors to join us for tonight's meeting. Sorors, we will begin in 30 seconds. We still have some participants joining us for this evening, and we welcome you to tonight's Town Hall meeting. Good evening, sorors. Welcome to our first International Town Hall meeting for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated for this sorority year with our International Grand Basilisk, Mary Bro Wright. My name is Soror Danielle Green, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as your moderator for this evening's meeting. During tonight's Town Hall, you will have the opportunity to hear directly from our International Grand Basilisk, members of our National Executive Board, and some of our national appointees. Tonight's meeting will provide you information regarding our second annual Military Appreciation Week, updates on our programs and initiatives, Centennial 2020 progress made, and progress made by our newly elected National Executive Board, membership reminders and highlights, as well as a forecast of things to come on the horizon within Zeta. Starting us off this evening is Major Natasha Sunday Clark, who is our National Military Attaché. Good evening, Major Clark.
Good evening, sorors. I want to thank each one of you for supporting our men and women who have served our country, and especially our sorors, our spouses, DOD employees, and contractors who have also served our men and women in arms. Slide. Here, sorors, you'll be able to see who your board members are by region. You will also see that we've added 2 additional appointments to this board, our print media editor-in-chief and also our social media director. Slide. Sora, over the past year, members of the Military Advisory Board and you have given quite a generous amount of money to our supporting contributions. We donated over $11,000 to the Veterans Home this year. Last year, during our first annual Military Appreciation Week, we raised over $23,000 to donate to Operation Homefront. Our initial goal was $5,000, so we exceeded that goal. During the same week, we got a chance to conduct a one-on-one interview with our very own honorary member, SOAR Rear Admiral Retired Fields. We also ended the week in the Capital Region by laying a wreath at the Arlington National Cemetery honoring our veterans who made a sacrifice for this country. This summer, SOARs paid homage to our country by posting our national colors at the 94th Annual Grand Boule. For the upcoming year, you will see that we have many initiatives that we would like to achieve and accomplish this year. The Zeta Military Appreciation Week will be conducted during the second week of November 2014. In the coming weeks, more information will be disseminated from your Military Appreciation Board members by regions and also your regional directors. Please check your emails and social media sites to get all of the detailed information for the upcoming initiatives. As a board, we decided this year that we'll focus only on the initiatives and we will not raise a donation for this sorority year. We do, however, want to ensure that we still pay homage to our veterans, so we will be laying a wreath at the Women's Memorial in Washington, D.C. on November 9th, 2014 from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. There will be more information to follow, but we would like for as many stores as possible to please come out. Finally, the new projects and partnerships that we'll be introducing is a proposal with the Women Veterans Rock. More information is to follow as we are still awaiting the memorandum of agreement from that organization. In January 2015, the Military Advisory Board will launch our first semi-annual newsletter, SOS, Serving Our Sisterhood. In that newsletter, you will find information about your board members, and also we'll be highlighting different SOARs who represent the military, spouses, DOD, and contractors throughout the region. And finally, our Facebook page, which we will have daily and weekly highlights, not only to speak about the new initiatives, but also to talk about our members who serve our country and also serve our sorority. SOARs, if you have any questions or concerns, you may always contact any member of the Military Advisory Board. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Clark, for those updates regarding the Military Advisory Board. SOAR boards, please follow up with your chapter vasculize for all of the toolkits and documents needed to implement our appreciation week. Those items will be disseminated through the protocol chain as Major Clark described this evening, and they will be available at the local level. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the woman who coordinates and facilitates a number of our national partnerships and ensures that programmatically data is second to none. Welcome at this time, Soror Rochelle Jones, National Director of Programs and Initiatives. Good evening, Soror Jones.
Good evening, Sorors. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I am excited to be a part of the Tele-Town Hall tonight, and we have a lot of great information we want to share with you to ensure Zeta stays on top with her programs. The National Programs Calendar that you see was created to assist you with planning your program's year. Many of you contacted us and said, when do we get a chance to implement our favorite local programs? And how do we get the planning done for the local programs and the national programs? So your national programs team developed a calendar, and it's really just a planning tool. This is not written in stone, but it's more of a guide to assist you. And you'll see it starts with planning for Adopt a School, choosing that school that you want to work with all year, choosing that elder care agency that you want to work with all year. And also on the reverse side of the calendar, and I don't have it here on the slides, is a contact sheet. So for any program that we're currently executing, you have contact information for that program. If you have any questions at all, you can contact one of those individuals. Your national programs calendar was emailed out to your regional directors and state directors, and hopefully you have it now at the chapter level. If not, you can always feel free to email me or Sarah Karen Gibson, and we'll be more than happy to email you the latest copy of the calendar. The Elder Care Initiative. I wanted to speak just briefly on this. Of course, this has been out for a while, and this is the Grand's signature program. But it's important to note that the two volunteer opportunities, the two main ones, are the Adult Daycare Center and the Home Health Care Agency. Those are different from a nursing home. If you go and volunteer at a nursing home, you will still get your Z-HOPE points. But the Adult Day Center is just like a daycare center, except it's for our seniors. And the home health care agencies are agencies that send individuals into homes to assist seniors with their daily hygiene and medical needs. Why a home health care agency? Because they will be able to help you identify those seniors who have little to no family support. And that's what we want to do, provide family support. And under that option, you will see things like making telephone calls to them every week or sending them cards on holidays. You would not believe how many seniors don't even get a Christmas gift every year, never hear from anyone on Valentine's Day. So that's the role that we're playing. We know the primary component is education and awareness because that is so important to the Grand, and it should be important to you too, because we know African Americans are more likely than anyone to be less prepared for senior years. And also, we're more likely to tap into that retirement plan before we should. And so that affects our quality of life in our senior years. So you may be thinking, I'm too young to think about this. Well, have that conversation with your parents. Have that conversation with your grandparents because it's going to affect the entire family when they need that support. And then, of course, the caregiver support. Some of you have had caregiver parties. You've had caregiver recognition receptions. Caregivers need that time to release and relief. We know that if elder abuse is going to occur, 9 times out of 10, it's from their caregiver just because they're stretched thin and very stressed. So these are very important programs, and don't forget, you have to have that one required seniors along with that one required woman. March of Dimes, Prematurity Awareness is coming up next month in November. You should already have your Prematurity Awareness Kit for 2014-2015. Miriam and Tasha did a fantastic job this year with that toolkit, as they do every year. Also, we have double the number of hand fans to provide to the chapters. I believe the deadline has passed, though, to sign up for your hand fans. But we're excited about this year's initiative, and we want to reach even more people. Even though the number of premature babies has decreased in the country, African Americans are still the leaders in the most premature babies. So we still have a ways to go yet. For Stork's Nest, as many of you know, we released our new manual at Boulé this summer. We're excited. That's our first new manual in about 16 or 17 years. We've also developed a folder for you where you can go in and find all the information that you need about Stork's Nest, ordering your updated supplies and material, the new price list, instruction sheets, everything you need to help run your nest. The link was sent to the regional directors so that it could funnel down to the state directors and to the chapters. So we hope that you have that link by now. Also, there is a password-protected portion of the March of Dimes site just for Zeta. And how can you get that password? By going in that folder. So you have to go in the folder to get the password. We didn't want to email it out, and then they asked us to get that too, and next thing we know, they're all in the StorchNest folder. So we put it in the StorchNest folder, and you would have to go there to get the password. Also, there is a list that we've come up with, and we addressed it on our last StorchNest call, of immediate needs. There are some things that the Nest need to do immediately to become compliant, and then there are some items that you have at least until January to do to become compliant and be just a really well-ran Nest. So be sure that you go in and you check out that folder. The American Cancer Society, we have an MOU with them, and we are in the process of renegotiating that MOU with the American Cancer Society. We know that this month is making strides against breast cancer, and many of you are participating in that, and I have listed here some of the other additional ways we will be supporting the American Cancer Society, and you'll be receiving more information about that. Last but not least, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We're excited to be partnering with them for great outdoor opportunities. There's a link for hiking trails near you, and there's also a link for refuge centers near you. And we are partnering through Zeta's Have Heart. The links are on the website of Zeta's Have Heart, and we want all of you to participate, even if you are not a Zeta's Have Heart member. And we will be having a webinar coming up about that. Our announcements, you can register for Zeta's Have Heart online right now as we begin to start our 2014-15 effort. These dates have changed that you see here. October 16th will be the webinar for the programs that you see listed that say ATs, and then October 23rd will be the webinar for Z-Hope and March of Dimes. You should be receiving those emails in the next couple of days. The National Z-Hope team is getting ready to start receiving submissions for new Z-Hope programs, and then, of course, remember Sunday of Hope, which is coming up in April and May. Thanks a lot, Saras. Happy programming.
Thank you again, Sora Jones, for those updates that you provided regarding our numerous programs and initiatives. There are several toolkits, Soros, that are being disseminated and have been disseminated regarding these items. So please make sure that you check with your local and state coordinators for additional support, assistance, and questions. At this time, we will now have a soror who has led our sisterhood with world-class service, who has now been charged to chair the planning of one of Zeta's most memorable occasions. I introduce to you our 20th International Grand Bachelor's and Centennial Chair, Dr. Jilla Moore Tiart, who will share with us updates regarding Centennial 2020. Good evening, Dr. Tiart.
Good evening, Soror Green and Sorors across the world. First, commendations to the Grand and her team for the best boule ever. It was at this boule where we truly blazed new paths, and I am honored to be a part of her team. And we left boule on a very, very high note. As a matter of fact, I want to just share with you something that you may recall. Well, yes, that's the official boule song. As we launched our vision to be finer in 2020. So tonight I want to provide a sneak preview of Centennial plans for the 2015 launch of our journey to 2020. Now, these details will be available in January after a final review by the National Executive Board on our Centennial website. An executive summary of my presentation tonight is already posted at www.z5b2020.com So just sit back and listen for the next 6 minutes and imagine our journey to 2020. But first, let's just go back to 2014. The Sigma Centennial was an amazing celebration. The Grand and I, along with our meeting planner, Sarah Mercedes Alexander, we were closely engaged with their planning and execution while ensuring that the business of Zeta was handled at Boulé 2014. We will mirror the excellence of Sigma's Centennial celebration and others of the Divine Nine who are in the Centennial Club while incorporating innovative strategies and approaches for the finer celebration of Zeta in 2020. Yes, we will mirror excellence while incorporating innovative strategies and approaches. We will be introducing an official registered licensed logo. We will commence a 5-year countdown in January 2015. We envision erecting a complimentary monument to that magnificent monument that Sigma constructed. We will announce an endowed scholarship in memory of our founders. And I am expecting that we will have 5 times the number of Blue and White family members that were in Washington this summer in 2020. And we will celebrate in spaces that are not only conducive to our audience, but that will also create the environment of class and elegance that only finer women can imagine. And yes, we will again celebrate the breathtaking reaffirmation ceremony with our brothers. We learned a lot about space requirements and crowd control in 2014, so just know that we are already planning for the masses of Zetas and our Blue and White family to be in Washington in 2020. So let's focus on 2015 now and beyond. Our journey to 2020 will consist of an annual theme, with 2015 being Finer Womanhood, 2016 Scholarship, 2017 Service, 2018 Sisterhood, 2019 the Blue and White family of Sigma Amici Youth Group, the Male Network, our partners and sponsors. We are still working on tributes to our founders that will be befitting of their legacy in addition to the endowed scholarship. One idea we are exploring are wax figures in addition to artifacts at the Smithsonian African American Museum of History and Culture. So now as we focus on 2015 and beyond, each year, beginning on Founders Day weekend in 2015, we are asking that you focus on 5 key events and activities during the weekend. And again, all of this information is at www.zphiv2020.com, but we ask that you dedicate time to sisterhood by setting up sisterhood circles of 5 sorors or with an extended group of sorors such as your chapter or your state. Do something related to scholarship, such as a luncheon, a dinner, or even give a scholarship award. We want you to celebrate the Zeta Global Day of Prayer on that Sunday, and on Monday, plan a Z-Hope Global Day of Service activity. Well, that's a full weekend, but it's what we do. It's what Zetas do. So in January, the Grand will be in South Carolina for Founders Day, and I will be with the state of Maryland for their weekend celebration, and other members of the national leadership team will be with sorors globally. So make sure you get your invites out now. The Journey to 2020 will be officially launched at the January 2015 National Executive Board meeting, and subsequent to that meeting, we will launch the official Centennial website that will be accessible via our national website, and we will launch our Centennial social media campaign along with other Centennial programs. I would let you know, though, as Centennial Chair, one of my greatest responsibilities is to manage the funds that you entrust to Zeta for the Centennial. And I take that responsibility very seriously, as I always have. So know that your investments will be accounted for in separate account structures so that the funds are used for the purpose intended, our Centennial. That process will be shared with you in January upon approval by our National Executive Board. The Grant and the Chair have already provided insight on the structure and procedures which will be developed and managed by the Centennial Finance Team at our national headquarters, led by our Executive Director, and the Finance Committee Team Lead, Sarah Arlene Taylor. Her team will consist of current, past, experts and financial officers who are Zetas. So this is a critical aspect of our planning because we want our centennial to be self-funding. We will announce a major fundraising campaign, but let me just give you a quick teaser. It's going to be called 2020 Visionaries, and it is going to help us fund Centennial without an assessment as long as we are ready to step up to plate and have the best Centennial ever. We will be asking Sorors to pledge to donate in at least one of 7 categories from $50 per year to $2,000 per year at the high end over the course of the next 5 years. Each category will have a specific list of benefits and in most cases a graduated discount level of 10% all the way up to 100% for the Centennial registration fee. A beautiful official Centennial pen has already been designed, and it will be provided to donors along with the option to purchase the annual limited edition dangle to hang from the pen. More to come. Sorors, you will love it. So if you want to be a 2020 visionary, please start planning now. As a contribution as low as $50 per year for 5 years gets you into the game. It's a major component of our responsibility on the journey to 2020. In order to make the economics of our Centennial work, I am asking that you start spending Zeta dollars with official Zeta licensed vendors or with vendors and Zetas to be announced in 2015 as our official Centennial licensed vendors and or our official Centennial licensed projects. Our Centennial licensed vendors and projects will be identified by a registered licensed vendor or project trademark. So we are already starting the discussion so that you will continue to have a supply of exciting and innovative Zeta items that represent our finer image and brand. For example, the Z-Blutique team of Tam and Dola, Sorors, they are already developing a proposal to be an official Centennial license project. So stay tuned. We will be working with our current Zeta licensed vendors to participate in the 2020 Visionary Program so that they can also help us raise Centennial funds. So if you are a Zeta and an official licensed vendor, please contact me to discuss this unique program in more detail. And of course, our first official license project was the CD with the official Centennial song. So I ask that you download it from cdbaby.com. And I also thank you if you have already purchased it and are cranking it up high in your car as you're doing your exercise or traveling to work or wherever. Another official licensed Centennial project will be the Final Womanhood Anthology. This project will be led by Sarah Rhonda Lawson. Yes, she's producing a book from Belgium, but you have the opportunity to write a story, a poem, or a paper about final womanhood to be included in her book. Submissions are due by December 15, and again, the details are at www.zpHIB2020.com. Sorors, you have the opportunity to propose projects that you have the talent to produce from end to end and to provide the seed funding to create a means to raise your 2020 visionary contribution. Chapters, states, regions can participate, and another way to fund your 2020 visionary pledge will be the corporate incentive that was introduced for the 2014 Boulé. So if you successfully recruit a sponsor for Boulé, 10% up to $2,000 annually can be attributed to your visionary level. In January, you will have access to the pledge form. So again, Sorors, just a quick preview. Start getting ready now. The journey to 2020 is leaving the station. Sorors, I look forward to attending your regional conferences in 2015, where I will provide a detailed overview of the status of Centennial, along with the opportunity to talk with you in workshop format. But also expect to participate in a B-Final workshop, learn about the Refinery, which will be an app that will help us refine our personal goals on the 2020 journey. And I want you to plan to get your Centennial Passport stamped starting at the National Executive Board meeting. So with that, Saraz, the roadmap is being created. We want you to get on board. This is the last call for the request to serve. Submit your information at zpHIB.2020 so that we can include you as a part of the team. Those who have already submitted, no need to resubmit. We're just in the process of scrutinizing and making sure we put you at the right spot. So, 5 actions for the founders. Number 1, go visit zpHIB 2020 if you're interested in serving. Secondly, plan to purchase the Centennial Song. The link is at that same website. Third, plan to become a 2020 visionary. Details to follow in January. Start thinking about number 4, which is to invite 5 sorors into your sisterhood circle. And last but not least, start planning now for what you will be doing for Founders Day weekend 2015. There is a timeline blueprint available for you at zpHIB2020.com. So with that, I hope I've given you a little background in terms of where we are today with anticipation for what's to come when we launch at board meeting January 2015. Sarah Green, I look forward to being with you as the State Director for Maryland and all the wonderful sorors in the state. We're ready to begin the journey, sorors. Let's get on board. Thank you, Sarah Green.
Thank you, Dr. T.R., so much for those updates, and we are excited that in 2015 we will begin to kick off our Centennial 2020 as we count down 5 for the founders. Next up to bat is someone who is no stranger to our sisterhood. She has held numerous positions, including her immediate past position as Zoll Chair. Now she serves as the chair of our National Executive Board. I welcome to tonight's town hall meeting none other than Dr. Nell Ingram, who will give us an overview of actions taken by the board since Boulé 2014. Good evening, Dr. Ingram.
Good evening, Sarah Green, and thank you so much for inviting me to join you on this evening. I, too, am excited now following Sarah T.R. about our road to 2020. As the chair of the executive board, we have basically had 2 major functions. We've had one executive board conference call, and in that conference call, we had on board all of your newly elected officers. And as you can see on the screen, I wanted to remind you of who those officers were. They're all very hardworking sorors, and they have hit the road running, and they've been very, very receptive to all of the tasks that we have asked them to do as members of the board. Also, as a member of the executive board, in our first conference call meeting on August the 26th, we took care of 2 actions. We selected a new law firm, Bryan Cave LLP. I think the sisterhood will be very pleased with the services that are provided by Bryan Cave, who has offices, will have offices all over the United States and abroad. In fact, there is a Bryan Cave office I have discovered here in Dallas. We also passed and adopted a resolution related to Article 2, Section B of our newly adopted bylaws, which is the 2.5 GPA requirement. Every chapter should have received this via the communications chain that came from the chair of the regional directors to the regional directors, state director, chapter bachelor, and to the members. And that action, again, was taken on August the 26th. If you are not familiar with that resolution, I'd like to encourage you to get with your state director. As a board, I know that you realized, having been past chair of Zoll, that I was really into training. And so one of the things that I felt that we needed as a board, and especially since we had so many new board members, is to have a series of training. And so we've had those training sessions that you see listed, with the exception of the last two. The risk management comes in November, and the leadership assessment. There are 11 board members that have not ever had the DISC assessment, and so our TR has been so very gracious to provide that, and we will have that coming up very soon. The whole idea, SOARS, is to provide you, the sisterhood, with a cohesive and well-informed executive board. On our next slide, I have also shared with you some additional things the board has undertaken, and that's to provide some additional training to your state directors, because let's face it, having been a state director myself, I know that's where, as we say in education, the rubber hits the road, and that we want to make sure that you have the most effective state directors that you can ever find out there. We also provided the entire sisterhood with an overview of the newly adopted bylaws, and so you will find those, that we did those sessions. We did 3 of them, and you had opportunity to sign in to one of those 3. If you missed that, those bylaw changes have been disseminated through the sisterhood. And, of course, we wanted to also provide some training for your national program directors on the topics that you see listed on the screen, especially interaction with our national headquarters staff, because they do that on a regular basis. Our next slide shares with you some of the basic board focus areas for our 2014-2015 year. Our board members have developed goals, and we will be sharing those goals with each other in the month of October. These are goals that we hope to achieve as members of your board. We're going to start looking at developing some standard operating procedures for our board and a booklet that we are not, as we elect new boards throughout the years, reinventing the wheel. And, of course, our major function is assisting the Grand in terms of renovation of national headquarters. We also have been working on making sure that we are addressing all of those bylaws that you refer to the executive board at the Boulé in 2014. And one of the things that we are doing as a board also is making sure that we are trying to implement all of the recommendations from the Blue Ribbon Task Force. One of the things I would like to formally do now, and you will get something in an official invitation in writing via constant contact through the executive director and through your regional director, is to officially invite you, the sisterhood, to the National Executive Board meeting January 9th through 11th at the Hilton Hotel Post Oak in Houston, Texas. We are looking forward to you attending. You've already heard SOAR TR said we're going to kick off our 2020 Centennial Celebration activities, and I hope that each one of you will plan now to attend the board meeting. By the middle of next week, you should have an official link to the Hilton's website that will be developed for Zeta so that you can make your room reservations. Our meeting planner has done a wonderful job in getting us a very good rate of $109 a night, and that is excellent for in Texas. And so we look forward to getting that link to you so you can register and join us in Houston, Texas at our next executive board. SOARs, have a wonderful rest of this sorority year, and we want you to remember to continue to support all the programmatic plans of our International Grand Bachelors and of our sisterhood and move Zeta forward. Thank you, SOAR Green, again for this invitation.
Thank you, Dr. Ingram, so much for those updates, and we hope that SOAR Boys, you will join us at the National Executive Board meeting in Houston, Texas. Please make sure that you look out for the link. Now we will hear from a soror who will make sure that we know that membership is key. She She is no stranger to being a member of the National Executive Board and now serves as our National First Anti-Bachelorist. I welcome to tonight's town hall meeting Sora Valerie Hollingsworth, who will give us some reminders and information regarding membership. Good evening, Sora Hollingsworth.
Good evening, Sora Green, and thank you for that introduction. I have been looking forward with anticipation for spending some time with our Soras this evening in order to share some general reminders of our MIP procedures, as well as some upcoming initiatives with the Sisterhood. So with that being said, let's get started. I've broken it down into 4 different sections, which is dates to remember, general reminders, upcoming initiatives, and contact information. Some of this information has already been sent out, but as I've been going through MIP packets, I felt that it would be very good at this point to just reiterate some of the information. So some dates to remember. We know that MIP officially opened on September 2nd, 2014, and it's going to run through June 1st, 2015. We're going to make that cutoff date June 1st because we still want to be able to have me review the packet that's coming in and then make approval, and then you'll be able to move on to your 5th, 6th, and 7th steps so that we could close out the sorority year at the end of June with all monies going to the bank and everything being updated in the system. So that's why we cut off at June 1st. The blackout dates, which are the holiday times, which are going to be Thanksgiving holiday from Monday the 24th through November 30th, 2014. If I'm asking all chapters if they could get their packets in prior to or after the holiday, that would be very good. And the same thing with Christmas holiday, December 22nd through the 28th. Those are my two times that I'll be off for the year, but I will be I'll be on for the balance of the new year right up until June 1st. I will not be taking any other time off at that time, so I'll be able to concentrate on it, especially at the heavy time in the spring. Some quick general reminders. Please, please, please remember that you need to as a chapter, to pay the dues for 2014-2015 on all 3 levels. I know sometimes we just wait and we're paying dues maybe the day before and sending them to national, and then the packets come out. But what really holds up the packets as far as approval is that I need to be able to verify that the dues have been received by national, the regional, and state. So that takes a little longer. So if it was going in advance, when I get the packet, once I look at the updated spreadsheets of when dues are paid and your chapter's name is on there, I can just speed right through. So please, please, please remember to pay those dues prior to sending in the packets. And the new members' fees and postage must be made payable to Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And we're only accepting money orders, cashier's checks, or certified checks. And those should be submitted with your MIP packet. I've already had an instance where that did not happen. It went the money went directly to the post office box, and the applications came to me. So that took a little longer to get everything together. So I just want to reiterate to please send the monies and the applications together to the First Anti. And we should have our chapters to send the application original and a copy. So remember that, and they need to be signed. So look very closely when you're sending in your packets that all the forms are filled out and all signatures in blue ink and a copy. Thank you. When sending in the completed packages, please do not request a signature acceptance. I'm a full-time telecommuter, so I work from home, so I'm able to pick up my packages or any time of the day. So as long as there's no signature for request, they'll leave it, and I'll be able to pick it up from inside my gate. Also, please do not forget to complete and include the certified order forms for the certificates and the membership materials, because once you complete those and send it in with the packet, once the approval is made, I'm able to scan those certificate order forms and membership materials and send them all along with my individual reports to national headquarters. And at that point in time, they will then batch up everything and send it out and give me a date. I follow up with all the chapters to make sure that the certificates and the membership materials have been received prior to the induction ceremony days. And I'm happy to say that right now I'm at a good 100% because every packet that I have approved, the materials have been received by the chapters. Now, only those who are MIP certified and financial can conduct or have any role in the 7 steps of the MIP process. I still get a number of questions about that, so I wanted to make sure everyone knows you got to be MIP certified and financial to conduct any of the steps of the process. And remember to double-check the MIP checklist so that everything that is supposed to go into the packet to mail off to me, that is in there, so that also speeds up the process. And no member intake ritual is to be conducted until after I grant approval. So if it's taking a little longer and we have to adjust the time, then that's what has to be done, but we have to make sure that you get your approval first before you can move on. Now, the upcoming initiatives. I know a lot of everyone is waiting for online MIP applications. I'm working on that diligently and have something to present to the board in January. Even after it's presented, it's going to be in phases, but you'll hear much more about it, and I'm very excited about it. With Documented Transition Guide, once I transitioned with the immediate past, National First Anti, I wanted to put together some procedures of everything that she has spoken about. It was a very intense and very well worth transition, so I was able to get everything down, and I'm working on putting that in the guide. So as our chair has just mentioned, for standard operating procedures that they were working on, I would like to present that to the Grand and the board, and hopefully that will be able to go in to our standard operating procedures as one of the transitioning procedures that we would have between First Antis. Standardized chapter chartering procedures. I know that we do a good job as far as our charterings, but we need to just standardize and put everything in place and make sure that everybody is doing the chapter charterings the same way. And and then after the actual chartering is what happens afterwards, so that we could really foster and grow the chapter so that it will continue to flourish. So look forward to hearing some more about that. And then a standardized undergrad to grad transition initiative, because we really, once again, with my model of membership being key, we would not have an organization without our undergrads, and we want to make sure that we can foster that kind of feeling that they want to have to be able to join a grad chapter after they graduate from college or the universities. So there's going to be more to come on that as well. And my contact information, this is information that has gone out to the sisterhood, but I wanted to make sure that everybody knew, because at one time I did not have my official Zeta line, but now I do have my Zeta line. So please feel free to call this number, 202-257-5597, anytime that you need any information or any help or any guidance with your MIP process. I'm very glad to assist, and I will answer my phone, and if not, I will make sure to get back to you as soon as humanly possible. And I return all calls, and I am available. So please do call me or reach out to me via email, text, send up smoke signals, whatever you like, but I'll be there to help you out. And last of all, I want to unveil the 2015 National Reclamation Theme. Membership is forever, so make it count. You will hear more about that at the end of the year, where I will be rolling that out. This is the banner that has been designed. I'm very happy about just the actual theme of it, because membership is key and it's important to our sisterhood, and our members are important, and I want everyone to know that. And therefore, because of that, we'll always be members of this great organization, so we'll have to make it count. Thank you very much for listening to me this evening, and Thora Green, thank you again, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Thora Harlingsworth, for those updates, and we look forward to those additional membership rollouts being presented later on this sorority year, especially at our National Executive Board meeting. Without further ado, I introduce to you the one and the only, our International Grand Bachelors of Beta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, none other than our Madam Grand Bachelors, Mary Bro Wright. Good evening, Madam Grand.
Good evening, and thank you, Madam State Director Green. Thanks to everyone for joining us this evening for our first Teletown Hall for 2014-2015. And I am just so excited because we had some excellent presenters this evening with us. Thanks to past Grand T.R., National First Anti Hollingsworth, Chair of the National Executive Board, Dr. Ingram, Soros Jones, and Clark, and of course you, Madam State Director Green. Do you know we've been doing this for 3 years and we're still together? I am so excited. Thank you so very much for moderating us this evening. Soros, I know I only have about 12 minutes and I will get through mine as quickly as possible. Let me share with you a couple of things. We'll begin with Boule Reflections. And let me just, I'm so excited. I had just renewed my passport and now I'm going to renew another one for Zeta. I am just so excited. Dr. Ingram has trained Zetas all around, state directors, appointees, board, and a good Zeta is a well-informed Zeta, and I am just so excited and so proud to be a Zeta this evening. God is good to us all the time. Boule Reflections right quick. Thanks for an amazing Boule with 2,700 plus registered sorors. Thanks to the Boule Planning Committee and the Eastern Region with Madam Regional Director Surgeon, where it all started in 1920. A fantastic job. More highlights. At our opening program, we recognized our partners, the March of Dimes, AARP, St. Jude, American Cancer Society, Elder Care, and Lean In. And something most important to us out there, because of you, we were able to burn the mortgage on headquarters. Thanks to our trustees, past Grand Carpenter, attorneys and finance team for coming up with a plan to making sure that we were able to burn that mortgage. And then for the sorors, the regions, the state, the chapters, and the dedicated life members for your support in helping us to burn that mortgage. What a privilege to see it go up in flames at the Boule in Washington, D.C., where it all began. We did the unveiling and the display of the blueprint for the renovation of the new headquarters that will be starting in January. The reaffirmation ceremony with our brothers, kudos to Soros Sawyer and Hammock for putting it together. It was fantastic, it was breathtaking, and it really brought tears to your eyes to see all the blue and white in that room. We completed over 100 amendments. Thanks, Madam National Highlighter. That was a lot of amendments, and then she was able to share with you those that were adopted. We inducted 2 very excited, capable, willing, honorary members into our sorority, Elizabeth O'Malley and Congresswoman Donna Edwards. And let me pronounce that. That's Omalami. Elizabeth Omalami from Atlanta, and Congresswoman Donna Edwards. My God, they are so excited. Yolanda Adams and President Jonathan Mason of Phi Beta Sigma brought praises and blessing at our inspirational breakfast. We spent time with our brothers during their centennial. I must say some of the Zetas spent a little bit more time with the Sigmas than they did in the business sessions, but that's all right. We got business taken care of. So thank you for being there, Soros, and for being there with our brothers. To have the daughter of founder Myrtle Tyler Faithful and the niece of founder Viola Tyler Goings, Sarah Francis Faithful in attendance during her birthday was awesome. And then to have Amika Mary Hinton, the only living chartered member of the first Amika Auxiliary to be given a charter in 1947 in Houston, Texas. And then to have awesome workshop with amazing presenters. What a boule. And there is so much more that I would be willing to share, but time does not allow. But at your regional conferences, the state meetings that I will be attending, and chapter speaking engagements, I will share those highlights with you of an exceptional and amazing boule. Next, we will talk about the renovation updates. I want you to know that the architect has been hired, and if you were at boule, you were able to meet Mr. Clarence, and we unveiled the plans for that, the blueprints, and I will have those available as I travel to regional conferences. Also, right now we're in the process of securing all the permits that will be needed in order to start the work. Once those permits are secured, we will hire a contractor so that by January 2015, we will begin the renovations on the house. Our house, the renovations should go anywhere, depending upon weather and unforeseen problems, should take us about 15 months. So hopefully by 2016, we will be in our house. So we're so excited about that, and he'll be ready for 2020, and we'll be in our house for 2020 for our centennial. Then we celebrated Zeta Day on the Hill again, and I would just like to simply say thanks to Krista Jones and all presenters, and let me tell you that Congresswoman Donna Edwards was there and spoke to us, and she is there to help Zeta. It's been, I think, since 2007 since we've had someone to represent us on the Hill, and now we have a young woman who is energetic and ready to go. So again, Zeta Day on the Hill, this is the third one we've had under this administration, and they have been so successful. So thanks to all of you who attended. On the next slide, it's my goals and vision, and when they're my goals, they become our goals. So let me share with you that for the goals for 2012, I had 20 goals for 2014. Of those 20 goals, we were able to complete 12 of those goals. 4 of those goals, we have completed more than 80% of those goals, and we have 4 that we are still working on. The goals for 2014, 2016, we have 15. I am going to continue with the 4 that I did not complete and still working on, and the ones that are at 80%. Let me tell you the ones that we're adding to the goals for 2014, 2016. To continue the renovation on national headquarters so that we may move back into our house, and we're going to do this. Evaluate the possibilities of putting national headquarters into a foundation. Our legal team is working on that. To revive the National Legacy Club at Boule in 2016, and we've getting representatives from each region, and we'll be working on that. I know we have each time you turn around, we're doing the Legacy Club. This time we want to take it to a level where it continues and it grows Boule after Boule. To appoint a national handbook committee to review the written guidelines and organizational structure of the sorority. We need a handbook, and the chair for that would be Scarlett Black, and she has her committee, and they will begin meeting. We will have a national handbook by next year. It's time. It's past time. To update our history book and to release the new history book at the Boule in 2016. And Sarah Norma Doherty is working on that, and she will be contacting regional directors, state directors, chapters, and Sarahs to help us to update our history book and to have it ready for release at Boule 2016. We are so excited. We are working with Avectra to get it up and moving, I should say, and functioning. And Amber Pratchett is working very hard. She will be going to each region to make sure that you understand what will take place. And finally, We are working to have a fully operational and user-friendly national website, which we have, but we want a functioning members-only section. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that Avectra is up and running, and that's what we're working on. So we're excited about that. We've hired a new, and those are the goals, and I will send the goals to the regional directors, and they will in turn send them to the state directors. We have hired a new staff member, Rebecca Jackson, from the Southeastern region, and she is strictly over membership. So you will be working with her when you have any concerns and or questions about membership. So, Rebecca Jackson. The new appointees that I will mention tonight, Pacific Regional Director Natalie Branham is the new regional director, and Ernestine Wilson is the new regional director for the South Central region. And we welcome both of them, and they have a wealth of knowledge and are already moving their regions forward. The national director, Cynthia Bell, is working on that so that you will have a list of all appointees that we have. So she's working on that. And online national dues payment, we're working on that to make sure that you can pay your dues. It all takes time, but I want you to know we've not given up on it, and we are working on it. The next thing is to save the date for Zeta Organizational Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C., July 9th through the 11th, 2015. And our new chair is Dr. Rosa Pridgeon, and she and her committee are working. They'll have a face-to-face in November, and it will be another Zeta Organizational Leadership Conference that you do not want to miss. And as I bring this to a close, because I see my time is up, I would like to say special kudos to Dr. Alice Garrett, our newly National Educational Foundation Chair for the Board of Managers. And we had 3 elected members to that board, to the NEF Board of Managers. Alice Garrett, of course, now is the chair, Saida Champon, Don Kemp, and Rosalind Hannibal Booker. My appointees to that board are Dr. Rosalind Hale, Scarlett Black, and Dr. Shirley Bowes, and they are working. I would also like to thank those who supported Driven to Give, and for funds generated will benefit the March of Dimes and the NEF. Great job, Soros, Dudley, and Green, for organizing the event. And as soon as we get the results, you will hear those results. Sincere appreciation to Dr. Mangum and FAMU for the invitation to bring greetings at the inauguration of Dr. Mangum, the 11th president and first permanent woman president of FAMU, and she is a Zeta and a very proud one. And also thanks to the Tallahassee chapters for the awesome hospitality that was shown to me. I love you all. Please continue to pray for the family, friends, region, and our sisterhood in the loss of past Grand Thomas. With the March for Babies, whenever you lose a past Grand, it's a hard thing. But we move on. And she was an awesome past Grand, and she will always be remembered by all. With the March of Dimes, March for Babies, we lost to the Alphas, but that's okay. I want you to know that our goal was $340,000. As of today, we've raised $369,000. So we are over our goal, $340,000, and we've raised $360,000. Thanks, Miriam and Latasha. Great job. Soros, thank you for joining with us this evening, and I so look forward to seeing you at our upcoming regional conferences, state and some state meetings, and chapters where I am speaking. And again, I want to thank you for serving for the love of Zeta. I know we put a lot on your plate, but Zetas are good at whatever they do, and they can handle anything. And let's get ready to get our passport, be a member of one of those clubs for the centennial. We will be in our house. We will have the best centennial ever. And let you know that everything we do it for the love of Zeta. Thank you, Madam State Director Green, Soros in the listening area and viewer, whatever. Just know that I love you, and thank you for 2 awesome years, and we look so forward to another 2 years as we continue to move Zeta ever forward. But I can only do it. We can only do it. The board can only do it with your help. So continue to be there for us as we continue to serve for the love of Zeta.
Thank you, Madam Grant, so much for this opportunity to hear from you. We are definitely here with you. We are supporting you, our board, and all of its leadership and membership as we move Zeta forward and we continue to build upon the principles of Zeta while blazing new paths. So, Awards, thank you for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful evening. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you in 2015 at our National Executive Board meeting. Good night.